You're listening to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in the Eberron pulp fantasy setting created by Keith Baker. New episodes are recorded every Sunday and released on the following week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for clips and future episodes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and news on the podcast. And now on with the show! It has been 4 months since the event that the denizens of the massive city of Sharn have taken to call the horror. Thousands of citizens were their lives extinguished over the course of a horrific incident all across the city. Aberrant creatures running wild, robed cultists attacking people in the streets. All the while, the Citadel Guard were nowhere to be found. It took a group of 7 brave individuals to stop the horror and prevent further death and mayhem. Within those 4 months, those individuals have passed into rumor. Their exploits known only as a myth now on the people on the street. We begin within the Cliffside Ward, which makes up the lower edge of Dura. It's bustling with activity on this hot summer day. Raucous sailors stagger through the streets in groups of 3s and 5s, making haste from one den of debauchery to another. You see a mixture of humans, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, shifters, goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, orcs, ogres, and even a troll or two flowing through the streets of Sharn's welcome, like a deluge from a burst dam. Several hundred feet above the rough district floats a magnificent manor. About a dozen prospective patrons ride a lift platform up from the cobblestone street to the courtyard just outside of the establishment. Alright, no pushing, no shoving. This platform will keep you from falling to your death. But don't push yourselves. You two in the back. I see you roughhousing. Cut it out. Now we're already at max capacity, so you'll have to spend some time here in the courtyard. Unless you've been invited by the patron of the house. Did any of you hail from the Order of Orion? If you do, raise your hand. The gentleman, who is a squat fellow, rotund, balding, with a big bushy mustache, and he's standing on top of a barrel in the midst of the courtyard, and he's looking at all of you as you're starting to mill off of this circular platform. And as the last person steps off of the platform gives a mighty humming noise and immediately begins to descend.
I start to walk forward and enter the establishment.
Okay. The man says, "Hold it! I just said that we're at max capacity, sir." And he's looking at his clipboard and not his clipboard. He's looking at his atlas slate, his crystal slate, and he's tracing a line with his finger. And as he starts to look up, instead of looking in your eyes, he realizes he's looking at your belly button. But then he starts to look upward. He goes, "Oh, my. Oh, begging your pardon, sir. Would you happen to be from the Order?"
No order of being hungry. I'm going in to eat.
Well, like I said, you might. Oh, okay, sir. Very well. And the gentleman continues to scan around the courtyard and looks in your direction, Eli, and says, "You there, sir? You look like you're of some importance. You wouldn't happen to be from the Order, would you?"
Oh, no, wrong order, but I am from a order. Does that mean I can go in now?
Well, I have a list of people that was supposed to come here today. Um, you don't look like a Gunthral. What's your name?
No. Eli Stormbringer.
Eli. Well, that name is on the list. You may enter if you like, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Kind of steps in.
I'm going to assume the big fellow is Gunthral. It's not a common name. Do I have a Lethana? A Lethana anywhere?
Yes, that's me.
Lethana, please step forward.
I step forward.
Hello, young miss. I was pleased to hear that a woman of your ill repute, if you don't pardon my saying so, your reputation precedes you as a bounty hunter in the area. You may head in if you'd like.
Oh, I mean you no harm. I'm just here to do my job.
Very well. Oh, let's see. One of the names on my list has been omitted or scratched out. That's strange. Is there an... Oh, I know I'm going to butcher this. An Audrey? Ari?
Oh, Ari, that's me. I'm not from an order, but I can order all sorts of things. I can order books alphabetically. I can do all sorts of...
Oh, well, miss. You look like you might, spent a little bit too much time outside. Very well. Can we head inside?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. And as the last of you mill into the tap room, you see the tap room is fairly booming. It's packed to the gills with people. And you see that you see several tables scattered around the large chamber. You see a large fireplace to the northern wall of the chamber, and a bar that stretches around and then curves and abruptly ends. And there are folks packed, people sitting at the tables, people sitting at the bar, people standing next to people sitting at the bar impatiently tapping their feet, waiting on drinks. And in the corner you also see what looks to be some sort of sigil. It's a strange arcane sigil, which is sort of a cottony, shimmery mist which is rising up off the ground. It doesn't appear to be drawn onto the wooden floor. It appears to actually be hovering a few inches off of the floor. And there is a plate in the wall that's like directly above it, directly in front of it. And as you're walking in, there's a middle-aged woman who is wearing a robe, and she has sort of a blondish, fiery hair. And her hair is kind of a little matted, and she's sweating a little bit. And as she looks at the newcomers coming in, says, "Oh, I'll get with you in just a moment. Blast, where is the damn clanker at?" And as you stand within the establishment, each of you, you begin to feel a buzzing coming from your packs. One at a time, each of your packs begin to buzz. And there's an amber light, a glow coming from within your pack that's pulsating.
I'll reach in and grab whatever's glowing.
Okay. You find a signet ring, which is set with a chunk of crystal, sort of an orangish colored crystal, orangish yellow, and it's currently glowing. And holding it, you remember this ring when you were conscripted into the service of the Order of Orion. They gave you this ring. Each of you actually received this ring through a carrier. as you all made your way towards Sharn, one by one. And as you hold the ring out now, you hear a voice sound out that says, "Good day to you all. When you are ready, please step into the teleport sigil near the bar one at a time and press your signet ring into the panel on the wall in front of you."
We glance around and just look and see if there's anyone else doing the same thing. Where is this door? Don't mind me.
As you reach into your bag and pull out the ring, a few feet away from him, you see an elven man. And Eli, would you like to describe your character?
Yes, he's pretty short, scrawny, elf with pointy ears. He kind of has a bluish robe on, and he's slowly putting the ring on. It fits badly. And he's walking over to the sigil.
Okay. And as you do so, as you place the ring on your finger, it was loose fitting at first, but as it slides onto your finger, you can feel it starting to tighten, not uncomfortably, but just so much that you can feel that it won't come off without some effort on your own. And
interesting.
And
Very nice.
Lithana, you see this elven man now walking towards the sigil that's in the corner. And would you like to describe your character?
Oh, sure. I'm wearing a green cloak with just some traveling clothing. I have dark black, curly hair, very white skin, and a green eyes. She has a long bow strapped to her back. Pretty, but looks like someone you might not want to cross.
And Lithani, you're looking over, you're watching as this elven man is walking towards this sigil on the floor. And Eli, what do you do?
I'm going to look at it very carefully.
Okay.
And investigate it.
All right, roll an
Like a
investigation.
Go.
Right.
Move on or get out of the way. I gotta go through something over here.
The Gunthroll, would you like to describe your character as you boss hog past Eli?
Dark gray skinned, a little burn on the left side of his face. His armor seems to be scorched on the left side of his body. He's got a green serpent etched in his armor on his chest piece. His cloak is on it that he's wearing on his back is dark green, and it's burnt as well. And one thing sticks out is he's got these gauntlets or around his thing. They has, like a foot of length of chain on each one around each one. And then he walks up, puts the little ring up to the thingy. Got a giant bowl of gruel that he's spooning with a wooden spoon.
Gunthroll, as you place the ring on your finger, since your hand is much bigger than either of the other two individuals that are crowding around the sigil now, pushing past Eli, you place your fist up to the wall, and as you do, there's a brilliant flash of white light, and you immediately are teleported to another room somewhere. Eli, Lithana, you are watching this, and Auri, from where you are currently standing within the tap room, you also heard the same message from your ring and saw the same sight of this massive gentleman in armor walk forward, put his fist against the wall, and then disappear in a flash of light.
What on earth? I want to try that. And I'll walk over to it with my ring as well. And I look at it and I go, well, if it fits, it sits. And I'll press mine in there as well.
Okay. There's a bit of a warmth and vibration in your arm as you you raise your arm and place the sigil ring into the plate in front of you. And as you do, you feel a tingling sensation all through your body and a brilliant flash of familiar light as you also are teleported into another chamber somewhere. Watching these goings on, these two individuals who have now disappeared from sight after placing their fist into the wall. Ender, sitting at one of the tables, other patrons have been giving you a wide berth, and you've been staring at this ring in your hand now for several minutes. And you continue to watch as these two elven individuals are standing in front of the sigil looking at the wall.
No, Gary.
Don't hear you. Might have to reset your audio settings there, Ender. In the meantime, Lathana or Eli, would you like to step into the sigil?
I turn towards Lathana. If my calculations are correct, it seems that it's pretty safe. I'll step on the sigil and I'll put it.
Oh yes, I've done this all the time.
Okay. Eli, as you step forth, repeating the same moves as the very tall individual and the somewhat very world-wearied and clearly a person who lives outdoors, step forward and step into the sigil, and they both disappear. Eli, you also, the moment you step into the sigil, present your ring, your body dematerializes, and you are also in another chamber. Lathana, do you follow suit?
This working?
Hey, hello there, sir.
Hello. Wait,
Hey, welcome.
I go ahead and stick my ring in the sigil. Just so.
Just so you know, Ender, since you've been staring at this ring and you heard this man's voice ask you to step forward to the teleport sigil near the bar and press your ring into the panel on the wall. And you've just watched...
Where did I get this ring?
The ring was given to you when you were conscripted into the Order of Orion. And you received a letter of renown that told you to go to a floating manor house called the Trollskull Impetu Arcanum, which floats above the cliffside ward.
Then I will not hesitate. I will also place my hand in the wall,
Okay.
clutching onto the ring.
Would you like to describe your character?
Oh yes, of course. My character is a big orc again. He's a very bulky half orc, pale greenish gray skin. He has white long hair, but it's braided back into a top knot. He has a red headband and armbands with gold stars patterned across. He wears a splint mail and he has a short sword and a long sword attached to his waist.
Okay.
And he's incredibly handsome.
Oh, of course. Who wouldn't want to kiss a half-orc?
I could count maybe one person.
Auri, I apologize. I may have skipped over your character description, so if you'd like to describe your character, you may.
Sure. She's kind of like a waifish looking girl. She's very pale with very speckled skin. There's freckles all over her. She's got really long, wispy hair. It's platinum, and it goes about to her waist. She wears it in braids and stuff sometimes, but right now it's just kind of wild and flowing around. She's got flowers in it. She's also wearing clothes that you can tell they're really old and tattered, but they're very clean considering the age of the garments. That's about it.
Excellent. So as you one at a time dematerialize and find yourselves in a flash, and you're now standing within a somewhat long chamber, some sort of meeting hall. And you see a human male with long strawberry blonde hair wearing well-kept leather armor and a royal blue tunic, who immediately rises from a chair at the end of a long table to greet you with a smile. And he says, "Hello, my name is René Dimo, and I'll be your appointed sponsor for the Esoteric Order of Orion. Welcome to the Trollskull Impetu Arcanum."
Oof, boy, that's a mouthful.
If you wouldn't mind, please stepping forward and presenting your letters of writ, and also if you would do me a favor and, as you do, introduce yourself.
I comply. I step forward and I introduce myself. I say, "My name's Go. Ender."
Greetings, sir. It's very nice to meet you.
Good evening, Renier. My name is Lothana. You've heard good things about you.
Oh, well, you're too kind. I'm just a simple man. I'm doing what I can for the city, for the peoples of the city.
Nah. They all say that. We know your status. But, anyways, thank you for having me.
It's very nice to meet you and welcome.
Hello, Rainier. Nice to meet you. A little bit of a fan. My name is Eli Stormbringer.
And Mr. Stormbringer, it's good to see you.
Good to see you as well. I have so many questions for you, but I'll ask them later. I kind of look up at the Goliath. He's a little impatient.
He's feeding himself from the bowl. Rainier, is that it? I'm Gunthral Stormcaller. I'm third mate of an old ship that cracked. Here to serve as needed. And is there any beer up here?
Of course.
At the table.
As you sit down, you see a very magnificent, massive tankard of ale. And as you sit down, the tankard immediately, you can hear the sound of pouring liquid and it begins to fill up. As you approach it and put your hand out towards it, you can smell the hops and the smell of the ale. And Rainier looks to you and says, "Please, sir, be my guest. And if you want something to eat, it's something better than what you're having. I can certainly have something brought up to you."
As he gestures, he leans over his bowl and pulls it a little bit closer to him and reaches out for the ale and brings it close to his chest. And no, I'm good. No.
Okay. And you there, young miss. What's your name?
My name is Ari. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. And I'll hand him my writ.
And as he accepts each of your letters of recommendation, and he looks to each of you, he says, "Everything seems to be in order. And as you know, you've all been personally selected by the High Wizard of Sharn, Kelivazar, to hunt down the enemies of the free peoples of Corvair and bring them to justice. Make no mistake, this is dangerous work, but it pays quite well. In addition to the tasks doled out by the Order, we receive a steady stream of contracts from various organizations and patrons. However, before we can give you an official assignment, there is an immediate matter of importance that requires a group with your skills. Our partnership with the King's Citadel has narrowed down the location of a street gang with ties to a cult that threatened the city a few months ago. They call themselves the Sharn Shunners. We need you to hunt them down and eliminate them for us. And if you could, please bring proof of the deed when you're finished, and you'll be handsomely compensated."
Oh, you mean that gang? Ah, yes. I know all the leaders. You need names.
Well,
I mean, not personally, but I know who they are through my connection.
well,
Eli raises his hand. Did you say dangerous?
well, of course. Being a member of the Order is, you're required to assist the order in many different ways, some of which might be considered very dangerous.
I'm sure we're more dangerous.
I must have not read that part in the contract. My apologies. He kind of looks like a little nervous.
Life is dangerous, boy. You need to go for it, or you just sit and let it pass you by.
And as he continues patiently listening to you all, and when you all finish conversing, he continues. The hideout is rumored somewhere in an underwater cave located here in the Cliffside Harbor. When you're all ready, I need you to head up to the Grey Flood District and seek out a wizard named Grinda Garloth. She's resourceful and a tinkerer who owes the Order a favor. She can assist you in exploring the riverbed. Good luck to you all, and go get 'em!
Thanks.
You mean like now, or can I finish eating?
Feel free to finish eating if you want something else. As I said, I'll be happy to have something brought up to you. You're all welcome to stay here within the meeting hall if you need to gather your thoughts or strategize. Feel free. And as he says that, he produces a piece of paper, a scroll that he rolls out onto the table in front of you, which gives you a map of the cliffside area. And he starts to trace a line. He says, now, where was that neighborhood? Garloth. I seem to remember it being somewhere into the north near Grey Flood. And he finally goes, aha! And he puts a finger down onto a northernmost section of the map within an area that's marked Grey Flood. And he says, yep, right around here. And he points to an area that's somewhat towards the edge and sort of like the more northern towards the end of the district. Mist Shore. It's a bit of a rough area, but I'm sure that you'll be more than no problem at all. Yes, yeah, no problem at all. And he continues, sort of starts to stroke his chin thoughtfully and stare at the map. And then he says, well, if there's no other questions, I have some work that I need to attend to. Feel free to reach out to me with your rings if you have a question.
Oh, I think this group will be fine. As long as this guy isn't hungry. I agree with him.
Can you remind me what the pay is?
Well, certainly. If you're able to provide proof of the deed, we'll be more than willing to compensate you handsomely. See, I believe I have been, yes, I've been authorized to pay you each 800 gold apiece for proof of the deed.
Cha-ching.
We get food and get paid? Oh my god, this is a job I've been dreaming of.
I guess I will look at that map.
And you said we could stay here, right?
Yes, feel free to use this as a place to gather your thoughts if you need to rest. There are rooms within the upper levels of the you must understand, the upper levels of the manor are fairly empty, vacant at the moment. The original owners have all gone their separate ways now, and the Order has essentially used this place as a neutral meeting ground for the various adventuring groups that they've hired.
Thank you. I'm ready when you are.
Excuse me, a question. How does my ring work? You mean I can talk into this and you'll hear me?
Why, yes, miss. All you have to do is bring the ring up and think about what you want to say, and you can, when you're ready, call out to any member of the Order who has a ring. You can communicate to your friends. can communicate to known individuals within the order. Please understand, if you pull out your ring and just start yelling, "Hey, somebody help me," you will probably hear hundreds of voices saying, "Who is that?" It's usually a good idea to have a name in mind before you start asking questions.
We've got to try that sometime.
So if I'm feeling particularly lonely, I could talk to my ring.
Sure, I'm sure they'll probably find someone to talk to.
So I'm going to test it. I'm going to take it up to me and be like, Lathana, hi. Can you hear me?
And the breathy, quieted voice of Auri is now projecting from your ring, and your ring is glowing and pulsing with amber light, Lathana. And as she's sitting a few feet away from you.
I bet it's echoing, is that right?
So cool.
I agree with you, Enda. We got to try that sometime. She holds up a hand to give him a high five.
Yeah, he'll also put it up.
Alright, but I think it's time for a meal. I've worked with a lot of people, but we got to have a plan.
Pull up my ring, now I face cook. Hello, cook. Bring me some food, please. Cook. Hello, cook.
And you hear a somewhat tinny voice. And it says, "Oh, right away, sir." And there is a chiming noise within the chamber, and suddenly a plate appears before you in an instant, and as if it blinks into existence, and it's piled with potatoes and steaming pile of meat and bread.
Is there enough to share?
Well, it's a platter, and it spreads across the center of the table. More plates now start popping into existence, and from
I'm gonna be eating because this is the first time I've ate this entire campaign.
I'll also sit down and eat some.
Before we start, I'm gonna reach over and just put my little finger on the Goliath and cast Prestidigitation. It might clean you up a little bit. I smile, and I sit down.
That's cute.
You were a bit of a messy eater.
I pull one of the platters close to me. I like this ring. So, boys and girls, what are we doing?
Well, we had to find Grunda, right?
We're going up here. And I point at the map. Which, you said it was up in Greyflood?
Yes, Renair mentioned a neighborhood called Mistshore, which is within the Greyflood district. And he circled it on the map for you.
And what was the woman's name that we're looking for?
That would be the wizard known as Garloth. Grinda Garloth.
Grinda Garloth. Oh my god, guys, I just gotta brag about something totally out of character. But Ani's writing down notes, like actual real grown-up notes on this whole thing. I'm gonna be such a better player this time around. Holy shit. Look at those notes.
Yeah. Oh, so we have a note taker.
We do.
Okay, that's good.
It's me. I'm taking the notes.
Funthrow leans back a little bit in his chair. See his hand go, unbuttons a couple buttons on around his waist. I gotta fill up because you don't know next time.
I think you filled up enough.
What? What?
That was a fat joke.
He's pretty big. He can eat a lot.
I've been hanging out with a lot of humans lately, and normally what they do is they insult the way each other look. But it's like a form of camaraderie. So, I mean, comrade, you're fat.
Up towards the rear of the chamber, the western wall, there's a ledge up near the ceiling. And as you're all getting comfortable, there's suddenly a blur of motion, and a white cat leaps from the ledge and lands in the center of the table on the map, and reaches out and starts pawing at the platter of meat.
I'm gonna give it some meat.
As it jumps down, Lathana immediately grabs her bow and points at it. Sees it's a cat.
No.
It's fine, you know, just got to be careful.
Is this part of the food too?
The white cat looks at you, holds up a paw, curls its paw into a fist with one digit sticking up, and it makes a notion like in your face.
We could make it into a stew.
No,
I'm sold.
I don't think he meant it, guys. Let's just let's be nice to the animal, please.
Yes, I don't believe that's food, big guy.
Hey, cat, what do you want?
The cat starts to grab a bit of meat, and then you watch as it leaps up into the air, straight up, and is now floating there, lying on its back, floating above the table. And it's got the meat on its tummy, and it's just sort of going to town on it.
He's so cute, you guys.
And its body just sort of turns and twists and flips around. And as it does, it sort of flicks its paw out, and a little bit of gristle, it flicks it into the fireplace next to you. And there's a little bit of a sizzle, like as whatever it is immediately ignites. And now the cat, continuing to float, is just sort of lazily flying in a little figure eight over the table.
Entertainment.
I believe it's time to go. Maybe that's what the cat is saying.
Yeah, the cat's cute and all, but we got to have a plan. I'm just curious. How do y'all work in a group? Like, who likes to go first? Who goes in the front? Whose cat spells? It's good to know before you go, you know. If we're going to be walking to victory.
Well, what can people do?
I shoot things.
I just cast a little magic. That's all.
What kind of magic, Mr. Eli?
Just magic.
Science-y magic or the magic?
I look at Ender and I cast invisibility. And he is now invisible.
That could still be science-y magic or magic-y magic.
As you are all staring across the table at Ender, and suddenly in a flash, his body dematerializes. You can still hear him speaking, but he is now completely gone. Like a shimmery field passed over his form.
I cast magic. Yeah, sciencey, kind of. I'll end the spell.
And as you end the spell, there is a snapping noise, sort of like a... And your image before you, the sight of this armored warrior, this half-orc warrior, once again appears complete.
Well, that's funny because I've already stripped and I'm naked on the table, finally embracing the true freedom that it... No, I'm just kidding.
Do it again.
Well, I would do it
Impressive.
again. But we are heading out, I guess, to maybe fight, so I do have to save some of my knowledge for today. Maybe tonight if I haven't used all my spells.
Oh, so you get tired after you use spells too. Yeah, same thing. I understand. I get it.
So you shoot things. I look at Lethana, and then I say, "You do magic," and I look over at Gunthruel. What do you?
I put people back together after they get hurt.
A healer. And you, little girl?
I kind of do a little bit of all of them. I mean, I can make you feel better. I can cast spells. Oh yeah, and I can also do this. And she snaps her fingers, and she looks exactly like she uses wild shape and looks exactly like the white cat that's floating in the.
The white cat immediately stops floating and falls onto the table and starts rushing towards you. And it's very quickly looking you up and down, left and right, looking at your paws, from your paws to your claws to your tail and back up to your ears to your whiskers. And then the cat sort of sits up on its two back legs, on its haunches, and is now stroking its chin with one of its paws, with its other paw under its where its elbow would be. And it just kind of stays there for a moment staring at you. And then it begins to clap.
This is very impressive. Can you hear us in that form? You understand me? As he pulls out a book and starts taking notes.
I'll nod my head and meow.
Interesting. Very interesting.
The other white cat now heads towards the western wall and leaps up into the ledge that is close to the ceiling, and you watch as it curls up around itself and now lays down.
Well, I'm done.
Are we ready to go now?
I'm gonna drop my form and go back to my human-looking.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
You know, I've been with a lot of groups. I think we should have just a word to say when we're all ready to go. Sweet potato, what do you? Instead of being like, you ready? Yes, yes, yes. Sweet potato. Guys, all ready?
Talking food again? Making me hungry.
I think this is a bad idea. Unfortunately, we have a big guy who's always hungry.
Cats? I don't know.
I'm gonna look up at the kitty and just ask, Kitty, are you gonna be here when we come back?
As you look up, the cat outstretches an arm and produces a digit as close as it can get to a thumbs up as it can with its little paw.
Oh, wonderful. I can't wait to see you again.
Well, after you, big guy.
Is there like a door here, or didn't even know?
There is a back door that's near that sigil, and it's across the sigil itself is in a corner a little ways away from the end of the eastern wall, and then there's a door that, as you look out the door, it heads northern down a staircase out to the street outside. But what once was the street, you can see now there is a small platform, one of those disc platforms that you rose up to the floating manor. This one seems to be set into the end at the bottom of that staircase.
Is everybody ready?
I believe so.
Always.
Lead the way, big man.
I'll grab a piece of meat off the table, start walking down the stairs while I'm eating.
Okay. So you head out to the street outside. You can see that the streets are still fairly hustling and bustling. Most of the foot traffic within the area, it appears to be pretty standard fare humanoids traveling amongst the streets. And you can see that just beyond Trollskull Alley, there is what looks like, well, actually, I should say, immediately below the ward, you can see that there is what looks like a park, which has been sprung up in what once was the foundations for this manor, and is immediately below it. And you can see that looking over the edge, a couple hundred feet below you, you can see that there is a place where this platform appears to travel from the end of the staircase to the ground level. And do you all depart?
Yes.
Yep.
I think it's a good idea. We should all go. Yeah, we should start heading our way towards the Great Flood, the waterfront district.
Okay. It'll take you all approximately about 26 minutes on foot to get there.
Where are we traveling from?
Currently, you are within a district known as Sharn's Welcome, sort of like smack dab in the middle of the Cliffside Ward.
I see it here.
Is anyone from this place? I'm new to
not.
this.
Not really. Not over here. I only know the upper wards.
No, but I've been here before.
Well, looks like
Think
you're
you
our
ain't
tour
those
guide.
All right. I guess I'll lead the way.
Lethana, if you're going to lead the way, make a survival check for me.
All right.
Okay.
25.
So, Lethana, looking at your new traveling companions, looking at the streets, looking at the end of Trollskull Alley, you see the crisscrossing other streets that split the district. And you're remembering, this is definitely northwest, and you find your way after approximately a half an hour. You are able to navigate and bring your friends to a bit of a seedier section of the city. Mishor is right on the edge of the docks, and there's a lot of ramshackle buildings. There's a lot of decommissioned ships that have been pulled up on the shore and are now, many of them are used as essentially hovels or places to live in. And as you all begin to approach the end of the Mistshore area, right up on the edge of the water of the river, you see a large shack. And there is a little bit of electricity and buzzing coming from somewhere close to it.
Weird.
Eli snaps his finger and casts mage armor on himself.
Okay. And as you get closer, you see an elderly woman who steps out of a door, opens a door, and holding what looks like a bucket of water, she walks over towards the end of one of the docks and throws the water out into the river. And as she turns around, she looks at all of you and she says, who are you? What do you want?
Is this the place?
You want a sweet talker here?
That's not really my strength.
Not really mine either.
I can tell if she's lying, but not really great with conversation. You know.
You wouldn't happen to be Grinda Gerloth, would you? Or know where we could find her?
Yeah, I'm Grinda. What do you want?
What do we want?
Well, Raynarson is here. What else? Come on. Rainer said to come up here and talk with her about getting some information about these guys and everything else. But she owes, a favor to the, the big man.
Oh, you're from the Order, aren't you?
Yeah, we heard something about maybe some trouble that's been happening around here, and we were sent by Rainer.
What do you want from me? I don't have anything to do with them. I know that I owe the Order some for the business that happened months ago, but what can I possibly do for you?
If they sent us here, means you know something. So you better tell us.
If you remember correctly, Rainer mentioned that she could assist you in exploring the riverbed, which is the rumored location of the gang's hideout.
That's what we tell her, duh. We say that.
Yeah, well, Raynor said you know something about this riverbed, and that's supposed to be the location they're hanging out, so, can you, direct us there, show us around, or, point us in the right...
Oh, the harbor is deep. You're gonna need some help if you're gonna go investigate the riverbed. Say, have any of you ever operated an apparatus Qualish before?
Qualish?
Would I know what that is?
Make a history check.
26.
Okay. Eli, you would know that an apparatus of Qualish is essentially a barrel-like instrument that transforms into something that looks a bit like a crustacean. It is airtight, and it can typically fit a couple of people inside of it.
It's like a vehicle.
It's like a submersible. And as you look beyond the door into the shop, you can see that within the shop there is an open area to the western wall within the shop. And you can see that there is a bit of a moon pool. And in answer to your question, Lithana, yes, we will take a break actually in 15 minutes. We will take a 5-minute break.
Cool.
And I will share with you what you will see submerged in the river, looking like it is ready to go out into the harbor.
He points over. That is what she's talking about.
The mechanical crab thing.
Yes, it's like a vehicle submerged in the water.
It doesn't look very spacious.
Grinda
Anybody
says,
know how to drive one of those things?
Grinda says, "Speak up, dearie, I can't hear you."
It doesn't look very spacious.
Oh, yeah, 2 people. That's it. 2 people can fit in there at a time. The rest of you will have to hang off the side of it if you're going to go with your friends. And, if you're planning on using it, I'll tell you what. I'll help you out a little bit. And she begins to trace sigils in the air. And you can see now that she begins to move her hands and whisper. And as she does, she pulls out what looks like a small bit of debris, like wood or reed, out. And she holds it between her hands and begins to blow through it. And as she does, there's a bit of a bubble that begins to emerge. And then another one. And then another one. And now there are 5 bubbles. And the bubbles travel towards your heads and wrap around your heads. And the bubbles now shimmer and go completely transparent, invisible. You can no longer see them. And she says, this will give you about 24 hours of the ability to breathe underwater.
Ah, very impressive. Who's driving?
So we're going underwater.
Well, I assume you wanted to operate the vehicle and search the riverbed, yes?
I don't mind driving. Got some experience.
I can drive as well. I've driven a few things in my time. But
Or,
if you want to, go ahead.
or maybe you can go and I'll just stay in the thing barrel if you need me. Alright, I guess Eli and I in the barrel and everyone else alright being on the outside.
Well, just,
I prefer to not go in there.
one
Stay
more,
outside.
one more thing. If you find any treasure while you're operating my vehicle, I'm gonna take a cut of it.
That's fair.
We'll settle it when you come back. Try not to damage it, okay?
I won't. I'll do my best. And he, Eli
What's the
hopped in.
cut?
I'll tell you what. I'll take 10% of what you find.
5.
Make a persuasion check.
I was about to shake her hand too, so I'm glad. Like, you interrupting that handshake made me look back at you.
And she
Delay my handshake.
begins to sort of get a little closer to you, Gunthroll, and she's sizing you up. Staring at you up and down, looking at your face, down to your feet, and back up again, and says, I'll tell you what, 5 is fine, but I better not see one scratch on my qualish.
I'll do my best.
Scratch it.
Waving.
We can't even spell it.
Good. I'll pat her on the shoulder and say, okay.
And as you all head towards the device, it looks like, again, a large metal barrel that has been riveted, and there's various metallic legs that are attached to it on the sides and a couple of pincer arms on the front of it. And the thing hums to life as the top hatch opens up. And you can see within that there's a couple of seats within, sort of bucket-style seats. And who wish to travel inside of it? I believe Ender, Auri are staying out. Are you also staying out, Gunthroll?
Yeah, I'm going to sit on top.
Okay. And as the Eli and Lithana descend into the vehicle, Eli, you said you're going to drive it?
Yes.
Okay. It actually takes 2 individuals to operate this vehicle. So
Okay.
I'll give you a breakdown of what all of the different levers do. There are a series of 10 levers within the vehicle.
Not
Is
too
this-
fast.
Is this something similar to what he's driven in the past?
No, this is very different. There doesn't appear to be any sort of steering device. There's no anything that would resemble a ship's wheel.
Maybe you should drive the Thonathan. I'm a bit knocked.
I'll
So-
do my best.
So there are 10 levers, and 5 of them are in front of you, Eli, and 5 of them are in front of you. Or I should say, actually, they're on the sides of either side of you. And directly in front of you is a porthole with slits, Eli, that you can see out of.
Ooh, I think this is where we see from. Very different than the airships I've driven.
I'll tell you what, each of you make an intelligence check. The rest of the party are currently very patiently either hanging off the side of this thing, or in the case of Gunthral, he is sitting Indian cross-leg style on top of it. And it's bobbing up and down in the water.
How fast is it?
Well, right now it's currently just sort of floating. Do you ask that of Grinda?
Yes.
Okay. And Grinda says, that's pretty quick. I mean, for something that floats in the water, it can sink about 20 feet per minute.
Eli.
And it's the claws, the legs will allow you, once it descends to the riverbed, it'll crawl over just about anything and it'll push it forward. If you want, I can give you a demonstration of what each of the levers are.
That might be very helpful.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. And Grinda now hops onto the side of the device and peers in, and she starts pointing to the different levers. And she points to one. She says, "This one, if you flip it up, the legs will and the tail extends, and it can either walk or swim. If you flip it down, the legs retract, obviously. This one here," and she points to another one next to it. This one the forward window shutter will open, and it's in up position now. Go ahead and flip that down, young man.
He gets the lever.
And as you flip that lever down that she pointed to, the window shutter, where the porthole in the front of the barrel section is, immediately closes. Hey, flip it up. It opens up again. And then she points to the window shutters on the sides. That one there, you flip that up, and once you flip that lever up, the window shutters on the sides, 2 of them per side, pop open. And again, reverse, closes them. And then that one over there points to another one on the side. If you flip that one down, and that lever, when you flip it down, the claws now retract into the barrel in this sort of a ratcheting clack noise. Flip it up, they come back out. Flip it up again, the claws spring out. And if you get into a bit of trouble down there, or you find something, a bit of an impassable thing, you can use those claws to crush things. All you gotta do is hit that 5th lever right next to you, sir. And on your young lady, your lever's a bit more simple. That lever there on the left, that'll allow you to walk or swim forward. If you hold the lever up, it will move forward. If you hold it down, it will move backwards or swim backwards. The lever next to it will turn the device 90 degrees to the left, up, and 90 degrees to the right, down. The one next to it, the fixtures on the front will project a bright light if you flip it up. And if you flip it down, it turns the light off. It's currently off, obviously. If you flip that lever there, the device will sink down, again, about 20 feet per minute. And if you flip it down, the apparatus will begin to fill up with air, will drop its ballast, and it will raise up to the surface again. And finally, and this is the most important one, the last lever, young lady, if you flip it up, it unseals and opens. If you flip it down, go ahead and flip it down. And the moment that you flip it down, Lithana, the hatch closes and seals, and there's a bit of a pneumatic hiss, and a rush of fresh air fills the chamber. And you can now hear the muffled sound of Grinda from outside of the device, and she taps on one of the side windows and waves at you. Hello!
Hello.
That's it.
Did you catch all that?
I hope you paid attention. I'm not going to repeat myself.
Eli, to be honest, I thought this would be more like riding a horse or driving a sky coach, but I'll do my best.
He pulls out his book and shows her the whole page of notes that he took. See, it's that simple.
Yes,
Okay, so with your quick crib notes version of how this device works, would you all wish to descend into the river
I'm worried, but I will.
Oh, remember, hit that lever. We can go.
Ah. Okay.
Yes, you control the swimming or walking there, Lithana.
I hit the lever to start going.
Okay. And as the strange barrel-like vehicle with metallic arms and legs begins to descend into the cold river water, you can hear now the sound of the humming as the vehicle is now rumbling. A sound of the machinery pounding around you within the chamber now. Looking out into the murky depths of the riverbed, you can see schools of multicolored fish moving this way and that way. And off to the west, you can just see sort of a haze, the edges of the riverbed, bits of wrecked waterborne vehicles that look like they have been torn apart, and a couple of very large ones actually off in the distance. A vehicle, a large sailing ship which appears to have been torn asunder. So, if I could have, let's see, I will roll a d20, both Eli and Lithana. I'll give you a chance if both of you get a chance to roll an investigation check.
Do you want us to roll a regular d20 or an investigation?
No, I want you to roll a d20, roll off
Okay.
d20s to find out who gets to roll the investigation check.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Par for the course for you, Eli. All right, Lithana, would you like to roll an investigation check?
Gosh, how do I have a +0 in investigation?
Okay. So after about an hour, you all find, through foraging through the vehicle as it sinks down, do you walk across the bottom of the riverbed, or do you use the tail section to swim? You're controlling it, Lithana.
Yeah, you do.
She's going to let it swim.
Okay.
You sound so confident. She's
After about an hour of swimming around the riverbed, moving up and down, and using the vehicle to forage through the different shipwrecks, looking on the edges of the cove, off in the distance, you see a series of raised areas just beyond the shipwrecks, and a series of what looks like cave openings. And all in all, you didn't really find anything of interest in terms of like gold, unfortunately. Didn't find anything valuable. Seemed like that wreck was picked pretty clean.
Well, continue on.
Should I aim for the caves? Maybe go down that?
Maybe, as he's like reading his book, and I'm paying attention.
Yeah, I could use your help, you know.
Oh, over there, and he kind of points and looks back down.
She aims it towards the cave.
Okay. There are a series of what looks like 7 caves, and they're all spaced out a couple of 100 yards away from each other. I'll tell you what. Make a perception check. Eli, make a perception check.
You want me to put it at disadvantage as he's reading?
Oh, if you'd like to roll it at disadvantage, go right ahead.
He technically is reading right now.
Okay.
Dude.
You see several schools of fish, some of them zipping in and out of the mouths of most of the caves. Some of the caves, it looks like the entrances are somewhat blocked with debris, and a few are covered with like bits of kelp and vegetation. You don't see anything else of interest as you're staring out the porthole into the murky river water.
He glances back down to his book. Ah, nothing interesting.
Oi, am I stuck with the book one? Do I see anything?
You can make another investigation check if you like.
Oi, investigation.
Hey,
Not
it's
bad.
not too bad.
16.
So after about another hour of moving the apparatus of Qualish around the riverbed and investigating each of the caves, you come across one that appears to be, the entrance is a bit different from the others. This one seems to have some sort of portal a little further into the inside of the cave, the inlet, the mouth of the cave. There appears to be some sort of portal, and at the center of the portal is about approximately a 5-foot wide opening. And there are all these weird shapes of sea life that are carved into the surface of this stone portal. It's definitely too small for the apparatus to fit through as you move the vehicle closer into the mouth of the cave.
Hi, Eloy, look.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that where we're supposed to go?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to fit though.
You mean we have to get out to go in there?
Looks like it.
What's I'm gonna get wet?
Ah, oh my gosh. Ah. Lathorna holds up her ring. Ah, Gunther and Ori. We're going in. We can't go in this Quidditch thing though. What the heck is this?
Kalish.
I believe it's a Qualish.
Whatever it's called. Alright.
Robo-crab.
Eloy, do you know how to open the hatch without getting like water in?
No, unfortunately not. But I think it will be fine.
Really?
He hits the lever to open up the top.
Oh, you hit the lever that's behind you that she can only reach?
Oh, hit that lever right there.
Are you sure?
We ain't getting out of this if you don't hit that lever.
Ah, alright, she hit
Okay. There is a hiss, and the top hatch pops open, pushing Gunther up a little bit, and cold water rushes in, and there's a weird sensation as the water fills the chamber almost within seconds, and now you are breathing, but you're underwater. And you all, one by one, head towards this strange portal. And that's where we're going to take a little break. You guys now have 5 minutes, or more if you need more, to take a little break, get something to drink, go to the bathroom if you need to, and we'll come back here in a moment.
Cool. Before we all take off, what is... I missed this. What's the name of the gang that we're hunting?
That would be the Sharn Shunners.
The Sharn Shunners. Thank you. And they said it was north of Grey Flood?
They said that their hideout was somewhere in the river, in an underwater, somewhere underneath the water.
I see. Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Thanks.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see if I can grab a snack.
I'll see you guys back here. I'll be here hanging out.
Hey. See, the cool thing about my headphones is I can do it all while playing.
Yeah.
Get my drink, I can walk around the house, and still be able to talk. So what do you think about Eli?
I think Eli is gonna have fun in this campaign.
Yeah. I was like, how would I play a nerd? He's gonna be reading a lot, and he's gonna be writing a book. Ooh, what book should? What's the title of the book he's?
Alright. While you guys are doing your thing, I'm just gonna be adding you all to the party sheet.
Oh, you know what book it should be called? Vox Maria, Story of Adventures.
No. I'm gonna.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna,
not.
I'm gonna have to veto that.
But it's not. Hey, it's not technically. It's a great though. What's the book title? What book should we be reading? Just in case somebody asks.
I got a book for you.
What's the book?
The book is called The Shadow Schism.
Okay. Ooh, a love story between.
Oh, it ain't no love story. Shadow Schism was a horrible, bloody affair. Alright. I'll be throwing you guys on a map here soon.
I put his major armor on him already.
Yeah, I saw it.
Wow, okay.
I saw that.
Okay. I just want to let you know. I was really tempted to take Keen Mind.
What's
I
that?
might take it at 8th level. I was really tempted to take Keen Mind.
Oh,
I'll take it
okay.
at 8th level, probably. So we can write down everything.
Alright. So what are you thinking so far? It's interesting start.
Yeah, it's fun.
What was that?
I was asking Derek what he thought so far.
Oh, cool.
I love the new group already.
You like the sound effects for the apparatus of Qualish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hey there.
Hey, this is Adam. Guys, I just want to say hey. Thanks to all my new fans.
Your new fans?
Yeah, I have new fans because I'm on the YouTubes now.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know?
Apparently.
Yeah, I got a lot of fans. You might hear a couple of them criticizing how I have no idea where I'm taking my character in terms of personality, but you have to know something. I don't either. I have no idea at this moment.
I don't think any of you do.
I said Chi-Ching as a samurai. I'm actually really proud of myself.
What do you think of the characters, the new characters, Adam?
I like them. I like Lathanis. Sometimes it's hard to understand what she's saying, but I think that's okay. It's almost deliberate, because sometimes with those accents, they're just foreign to me right now. I'm sure I'll get used to it.
It just means that you're going to have to pay attention and maybe listen to the sessions.
Well, I don't want to go that far. I mean, come on, let's keep it real here.
You'll get used to it.
No. You're not in character right now, for the love of... No, I'm teasing. I like your character, your wizard so far. He's really entertaining. He kind of reminds me almost like a mix of your old characters. Just a little bit more. I'm gonna say a little bit more RP focused, a little bit more polished.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a nerd, like a super nerd.
I got it. Yeah.
So I was like, the best way to be a nerd is to read a lot. So I was like, okay, he'll be reading a book. Like, Eli, focus. Like, oh, sorry, I'm almost gonna finish the end of the chapter.
I would suggest that one of you in the party become a note taker.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that any specific person should hold on to that role, though. I think we should all be taking our own notes and comparing.
Oh, definitely. I just think that, it's going to get real confusing if nobody writes down notes and I start telling you guys information and I'm constantly hearing, what did you say about 2 sessions ago? What was the name of that thing?
Yeah, I've already done that.
The funny thing is half of them he could have looked at me and asked me, and I would have told him. But there were a few things I missed. Like I did miss the name of the gang.
No worries.
I'm just gonna add, when I have questions. The great thing about playing a low intelligence character is I can look like a fool while still remaining in character.
Yeah.
Because bring it on. I'll take on all the party's dumbness. I am the orc. I'll be the dummy flag bearer.
Ah.
Is everyone back?
I don't think control is yet.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato?
Mark?
Our apparatus is flooded now, right?
Yes. Currently, you guys are within the mouth of a cave in front of a large portal of some sort, and there's a 5-foot wide circle at the very center of it, which is open.
Okay, cool. And add a bunch of carvings and stuff. I got that part.
So we can just walk right in there. I'm sorry, swim right in there.
Correct. If you wish to do so. I would remind you all that one of the members of your party cannot see in the dark.
Guns roll.
I didn't take dark vision either. I'm sorry.
Your character has dark vision.
No, I didn't take the castable dark vision, so I couldn't give him dark vision. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, there's always the torch. Of course, you guys just took a swim, so all your torches are wet.
Who doesn't have dark vision?
Everybody.
Just guns roll.
Yeah.
Ah.
Gonthral's the only one who doesn't have dark vision.
Always a big Goliath, huh?
Yeah,
Not everything in D&D has dark vision.
It's crazy. I know.
I got a torch.
You got a torch, but it's wet.
Oh. What's on my
I'll
back?
help you blow on it.
I have produced flame.
There you go. All right. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Potato.
Potato. So, is now somewhat hovering in the water, treading within the murky, darkened area. All of you, except for Gunthral, can see some detail of this portal, the raised, carved sea life that is You see of various types. You see sharks, you see manta rays, you see squids, various crustaceans, and then it's almost like they're all piled on top of each other, smushed together, and make this portal. And at the very center, you can see a series of appendages from different sea life that are pointing towards this portal.
Hello, can you hear me underwater?
Yes, I can hear you quite fine.
Ah, we can breathe and talk underwater. Can everybody see?
This thing working?
I should mention that you do not have the ability to talk to each other under the water.
Oh, okay, that's what I was checking. Okay, so we can't. Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
You can always
Hello?
you can try to speak, but it'll come out muffled.
But we have
Okay.
bubbles over our heads, right?
You have transparent bubbles that are allowing you to breathe underwater.
Can I stick the ring into the translucent bubble and talk to the ring to my party?
Sure, you could try. You can certainly try.
Well, I hate to be the dumb guy who's being clever here, but here it goes. I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I hear Eli going blub 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 blub. So I lift up my ring and start speaking to him. Hopefully he can.
So as you lift your ring up to where you believe is the transparent bubble that you saw floating towards and enveloping all of your heads, you hear sound coming from your ring. As you speak into it, it's a bit muffled, but it's still somewhat intelligible.
Did I just come up with a good idea? Write that down, Ani. So it's working. Hello? Can you hear me?
You hear
Do I
very,
hear him?
a very, very muffled.
Eli? Eli, is this working? Come on.
I look at him kind of like confused, and I'm gonna cast a message and point and be like, "Hello, I can hear you now better."
I hate magic people.
You can reply to this message.
After the beep?
I'm going to point and do to each of them. I think we should head in the cave and cast message to each individual one.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow his instruction.
All right. So you're all heading into the portal.
Can I cast something that needs verbal if I don't?
Unfortunately, no, not while you're
Okay.
underwater.
Okay.
And technically, your message wouldn't necessarily work either there,
Oh.
Eli. Because
Oh.
message requires VSM.
So I
Let's hear-
couldn't actually. Okay.
Yeah.
But
you-
I saw his hand signals, and he made like a little cave hand signal. So I'm assuming he meant
Just
to
point
go
at
into
it.
the portal.
just point
And
at
I'm gonna
Just point at the
swim into the portal as best I can.
Okay. As you swim towards the portal, looking beyond, you can see a tunnel that stretches off into the distance. And there's various bits of vegetation that hang along the inside of the portal, of this tunnel. And you can see a couple of fish that are darting this way and that way. As soon as they appear to notice you, they zip off into the distance.
I'm gonna keep swimming into the portal. I'm gonna look back to see if my party's following me. Are you guys following?
I'm following.
Yes.
Eli starts to follow and then looks back at Gunny and sees that he's confused. So I'll swim back and actually grab onto his arm and like kind of like pull him toward, like, hey, come with me, kind of thing. But it's like.
I'll follow.
Okay. After some time heading down this this bit of tunnel, and the vegetation, the bits of vegetation sort of wafting and waving in the flow of water. After a while, the tunnel sort of opens up a bit more, and it seems to terminate in this bed of vegetation, and you now see that you are just below what appears to be a pocket of air. And the side of the tunnel in front of you immediately starts to curve upwards towards an edge, like the edge of dry land. And I will share a map with you. As you breach the surface, do you all come up above the surface?
Yes.
Yes.
Potato.
Alright, hopefully this map doesn't crash Fantasy Grounds.
It can't. It won't. I believe in it.
As everyone goes into the cave, the portal, what do I? What do I see ahead of me?
Are you staying under the water, or are you popping your head up?
I'm popping my head up.
Okay. Popping your head up above the surface, you can see that you're in some sort of pocket of air, cavern that stretches up about 60 feet above you. You see stalactites, and there's water dripping down into this bit of a moon pool. And you can see ahead of you there are a couple of support columns that stretch up from the floor. Stalagmites that meet stalactites at the top. They taper in the middle, but they seem to be almost like support beams, if you will, or columns. And immediately ahead of you, you see what looks to be some sort of ever-bright torch that is in the wall and is lit, and it's emitting a warm glow. Looking around, you see piles of half-eaten fish carcasses that are littering the ground. And you can see a tunnel opening that seems to be leading away.
I very quietly get out my pack, pull out a bit of ash and a sprig of spruce, and I cast Pass Without a Trace on.
You're casting Pass Without Trace on the entire party? Was that a yes?
Everyone gets +10 to stealth roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also going to be crawling out of the water with stealth, having my hands on my sheet.
Okay. Well, if you'd all like to roll stealth at this point, you may.
No. 27.
Oops.
Well, if it's +10, then that would mean that that's a
30.
37, a 32, a 16. Auri, the rest of your newfound companions, traveling companions, are currently standing up, their armor and clothing completely soaking wet and drenched. And they're now standing up within this pocket of air, this cavern. The sounds of the hanging stalactites, moisture dripping down into the moon pool that you're currently bobbing in.
Alright, I'll go forward too, but I'm gonna stay behind Ender.
Okay. And feel free to move your token on the map wherever you like.
Does this torch come out the wall?
The torch is fixed in a holder, and it appears to be solid. And the actual light, or the fire, I should say, is floating up above the holder. It doesn't appear to be attached or burning from something. This appears to be, this flame is produced and is continuing without, as far as you can tell, any sort of source, any type of light source. Or I should say a fuel, excuse me. No fuel source. And ahead of you, Lithana, you can see that there is a set of rough-hewn stairs that descend down.
Can I remove this from the wall?
You can certainly try.
Alright, I'll pull that out of the wall.
Make a strength check. Okay. You pull as hard as you can on this device, and as you do, you can feel that it seems to have some give to it, but as you release your hand from it, it seems to push back into the wall, like something seems to be holding it there. Like it had a little bit of give when you started to pull on it, but then it seemed to reseat itself.
Eli looks at him.
And
Let's move forward.
Lithana, looking down the stairwell, you can see that there is a tunnel that appears to continue on.
Come on. And she starts creeping up the stairs.
It actually goes downward.
Or down the stairs.
Yes, down the stairs.
She's like walking in midair and then corrects. I mean, she might as well be floating at this point. 37 steps.
And you can see that the rough-hewn rock walls appear to curve around and continue on.
I'm
And
following her.
bit of sickly-looking slime on the ground as you continue on immediately in front of you. It's a viscous pool of sort of jelly-like matter.
As we walk, I'm going to reach out and touch the people around me and cast Prestidigitation and dry everybody off.
Okay.
Hey, Ari, know what this stuff is? This green stuff.
Do you know what that is?
Can I make a roll to see if I do?
Nature, maybe?
Yeah, make a nature check.
21.
Okay. You're fairly certain that this appears to be some sort of cast-off mucus of some sort from a creature, a living creature.
It doesn't look very plant-like to me. I think it's some kind of mucus.
All right, well, keep your heads about you. She
And-
not just
As you're staring at it, Auri, you get a bit of a sick sensation in the pit of your stomach. Like, whatever this is, you definitely would not want to ingest it.
I don't think I would let it touch you. Definitely don't eat it, but don't let it touch you if you can help it.
I like gingerly step over it and move it on the wall.
Would you like to jump over it?
Yes.
Okay. I would say that it's very easy for you to leap over that. In fact, pretty much every one of you has no problem whatsoever moving past it except for Eli.
Can I look above us?
Yes, as you look above you, you can see that the cavern is approximately 10 feet high, the tunnel walls, and it slopes, and you can see smaller areas that are some areas that are smooth, some areas are rough, and you can see some bits of calcification and like little smaller stalactites that are bunched together and are dripping liquid from them.
Okay, so there's no scary monster above me.
You don't see anything above you, no.
No reruns of a Nickelodeon slime show or anything. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and hop over.
I think my shield and X out.
Okay. Eli watches your newfound friends, continue to make their way through this area. And Gunthral just sort of steps over with one long stride. Eli, if you would like to jump over that, do me a favor, and you can make an athletics or acrobatics check.
All right. All right, I'll do acrobatic. Oh,
Natural 20. Eli, you do a sort of a cartwheel over it. There's very little problem whatsoever to navigate over it.
Well, you didn't have to show off.
he does like a little bow and like a little dance move. Ah.
And
Did he flourish when he landed? I imagine a very, very feminine flourish.
Lithana, you continuing down the slick walls, you can see now there's a bit more fungus and some sort of yellowish colored patch of mold that's growing in the corner as you continue on. And the tunnel continues on and seems to curve around.
I move forward stealthily.
Okay.
You stand behind Ender. Ender.
No, I'm not. Sorry, I was looking at feats.
What are these feats you speak of?
No, I was
Feats.
looking at our feats.
Oh, you're looking at your feet.
Everyone's feats. Ever since that hop, I just can't take my eyes off everyone's feats.
Just continue moving forward. Everyone doing all. Be ready.
You're doing amazing.
Okay.
All right, the whole time I'm looking at the ceiling. I don't understand why there's a little bit of slime there and none where we're walking. So I'm suspicious of the ceiling.
Okay.
Anything else?
As you continue on, the
Was there any
tunnel.
light in this hole? I'm sorry.
There is no light. It is pitch black. So you've basically been sort of following closely behind your friends. You can see now there is a bit of an open area before you, Lithana. Like the tunnel continues on and then opens up into a large chamber. You're fairly certain is a large chamber in front of you. And you can see that across the way there's an expanse and there's another tunnel beyond.
There's a chamber ahead and a tunnel beyond. And anyone noticing walking behind her would say that Lathana, she rolled great stealth. She has a great cloak on, but she is like, you can hear her voice, but you have no idea where she's like totally invisible. Not a glint of the eye or anything like.
Lathana, as you head within this large chamber, you can see that on the opposite end of a large sand pit filled with garbage consisting of broken barrels, furniture, and what you can only assume is some sort of rotten carcasses and possible food. And you can see scattered amongst the piles, you can see treasure chests that appear to be covered in more of the fungus and mold that you saw before. The patches of yellow fungus and mold. And you can see that the debris pile appears to be fairly deep. And at the edge of a bit of a cliff edge, 15 feet down, you can see where you could slide into this sand pit. And on the other side, you see another, the sand pit raises up 15 feet to another ledge where that other tunnel is located.
Sand pit ahead. This might be where that creature thing.
And I will reveal it to you. And you see a few more of those stalagmite / stalactites that have moved together and seem to be like much larger, almost like support beams raising up into the ceiling.
There we go. I see it now. I slowly creep ahead, just trying to stay in the shadows. Is it dark in here? Or is it...
It is pretty dark. Again, using your dark vision, you can see that ahead of you, you can see all the debris, and you can see just beyond, you can see that there's clearly another cliff's edge off in the distance. What would you like to do?
I guess move ahead. Just straight across if she can.
Is that a cliff edge there?
It is a 15-foot drop. Are you going into the wall there?
What do you want to do?
Do we see any enemies down there?
What do you guys see?
You can make a perception check.
I'll do that.
I will as well.
Okay. Lithana, looking around, you see more of the... That's weird. I didn't realize you had disadvantage on perception there, Gunthral.
It was dark?
Oh, that's right. It is dark. Haha. Thank you. And you're looking around.
At 20.
You did roll a nat 20. Lathana, looking around, you see scattered bits of debris. You see some large chests that appear to be burst open, and there's papers scattered here this way and that way, broken furniture. And Ender, just beyond, straight ahead of you, you can see what appears to be a somewhat barnacle-covered but pristine-looking treasure chest that's sitting in the sand next to a couple of sacks. And you could just make out like what appears to be more broken furniture scattered about, and up against the far wall leading up to the cliff's edge, there are piles and piles of sacks and more tarpaulin style sacks and open chests that appear to almost be like almost like a makeshift bridge to climb on, like possibly someone stacked them deliberately.
I'm going to explain my findings to the group, and it looks like possibly some kind of a place where they're storing all the booty that they've obtained. Ooh, everything just turned blue. Or I'm having a seizure. Okay, good.
It's nighttime.
It's very dark in here.
Well, are we going over the cliff?
But we can't turn away now.
I've got some. Yeah, and she pulls out to 50 feet of rope.
Oh, we're gonna climb in the darkness.
Ian.
What's
What
going on?
else?
Are we headed in?
Well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the initiative. Since orcs don't fear, they don't even know what that is. I'm going to hop in.
Okay. And it is a 15-foot drop down into the sand. Make an athletics check. Or acrobatics, whichever one's easiest for you. Okay. You very deftly roll down this somewhat steep cliff edge 15 feet into the sand and find yourself now standing within the sand pile. You start to sink a little bit into the sand. The sand is very soft and it's cool to the touch. If you have any exposed areas, it gets into your armor a little bit, into your greaves, into your feet. And you're about knee deep now in sand.
Okay. But no other dangers around.
Don't see anything. You're
so
welcome.
I'm sinking. Am I still sinking, or have I reached the bottom of my sinking?
After you sink down to about calf level, almost to your knee, it stops.
All right. And do I see any kind of what's my I'd like to get out of the sand.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep moving forward.
You like to get out of the sand? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You said that there's like a bridge, right? You said that there was some kind of a loot, like a pathway built out of.
I will circle it on the map for you so you can see what I was describing. It is over here. Whoops, that's too big. Haha. Okay. Right over here, you see a pile of debris, open chests, sacks that appear to be haphazardly thrown against the wall leading up to the other cliff's edge.
Okay, I see it now. That makes sense.
And it's moving through the sand ankle deep. Each time you take a step, you sink back down to calf level, almost knee deep. And it takes a little bit of time to navigate, but you're able to stomp forward through the the sand.
So I'm guessing I'm not very stealthy right now.
Not very, I would say. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna walk forward.
Okay.
I reach out and grab him real fast. It's a 15-foot drop.
What?
15-foot drop.
Oh.
Okay, Gonthral, make an athletics check as you step off the edge of the cliff.
Oh no.
So Gonthral, you start as you turn around to say what to Eli, you go floop, pitch over, catch your foot on the edge, and you get a face full of sand as you land into the sand, and you're gonna take you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. It's more of a shock than anything else.
In the meantime, Lathana has put her rope down. All right, climb down.
Now you tell me.
I will take the rope and I will start to climb down.
Okay. Very easy climb for you, Eli. You're able to slide down the rope.
And then I see Gunther right next to me. I whisper, I told you it was a 15-foot drop.
Yeah, but you could have told me before I fell.
I'm gonna also take the rope down,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, Gunthro, are you okay? That sounded a little painful.
Oh, I'm fine, little one. Thanks for caring. Yeah, he didn't care. He just let me fall over the cliff, man. Just think if it was even further.
Hey, Gunther.
Yeah.
Can you catch me?
Yeah, jump at me and land on me. I will catch you. I can't see you, but you can land on me.
Oh, all right. I'll let you know when
Maybe
I'm.
you should take the rope.
Well, there's no one to really hold.
I'll hold my shield out so she can land on it.
And I jump.
Okay. Make an acrobatics or athletics check. We'll say acrobatics check, Lithana. Okay. You're able to very deftly leap off the edge after pulling your rope back up and find yourself now standing next to your friends in the sand pit.
I jumped onto his shield. And then I stepped off.
Ender, Gunthral, Lithana, and Auri. The moment that Lithana lands next to you all, you hear a sound of shifting sand somewhere north of you all. Somewhere almost dead center in the midst between the pillars, a little further away. And it's sound of shifting sand as she leaps down.
Ender, are you okay? Can you see anything over there? It sounded like something happened near you.
Can I hop up on this rock in front of me and see if I can take a look? See if I can spot it.
As you step up on the rocks start to sink down into the sand a bit. And you're not completely submerged in the sand anymore. Now it's just you're about ankle deep in sand as you're stepping on a somewhat of a harder surface. And you can make a perception check if you like.
Alright, I do that.
Okay. Ender, I will whisper to you what you see.
And I sent you a message, Jeremy.
Okay, I'll read it as soon as I finish typing this.
All right. I'm gonna whisper into my ring, and I'm going to tell Eli that I just saw very quietly. I'm going to whisper into it. I saw an eye stalk slip into the sand about 40 feet away from them.
Guys, there's a creature 40 feet away from us north.
What kind of creature?
I don't know. Just saw something move.
Did it look big and scary?
If it's in the sand, I think it's big and scary.
Lithana glides across the sand to that set of debris up ahead.
Okay. Again, it takes you a little bit of time, but you're able to trudge forward.
When she reaches at me, like when she gets caught up to me, I'm going to walk.
Okay.
And kind of like just as a unit.
All right.
So I want to keep her close in case she gets in danger.
Neat. As you both get closer to this bit of pile that's here, broken furniture, Ender. Let's see. Need to check something real quick. Hold on. Uno momento. All right. You see more of that yellow mold that is covering the treasure that's in front of you. Like there appears to be a pile of gold, and the mold is laying on top of it. At least it looks like gold. It's dark, so you can't really make out the color, but it looks like coins of some sort that are scattered about in a pile. Like it's spilled out of this chest. It's a large, very large chest in front of you.
I'm going to whisper to Eli again. Stick together, stay close.
Maybe we shouldn't let him run out there alone in the dark.
Yeah. I want to pull out my source sled and see if it activates.
Okay. Let's see. Auri, Gunthral, and Lithana. As Ender and Lithana you're checking this pile, you all now feel a bit of a vibration in the sand around you, and suddenly there is a burst of motion as some strange creature leaps forth out from underneath the sand and attacks all of you. I need you all to roll initiative. Oh yeah, I know. I saw it. I saw you hovering above the sand. And Lithana, it is your turn. You turn to your right just in time to see a creature burst out and begin reaching towards you. And you have a split second to react.
I drop my bow, grab out my scimitar, and I strike 3 times with my Dread Embusher ability.
That first attack, you were a bit shook as the creature leapt at you and just sort of like unintelligible words creeping out of your mouth as you attempt to slash at the creature.
Dang it. And let's see. Now, I'm still learning. Can I move away with my character? No.
You can move away, but you will take an opportunity attack from the creature.
Okay. I'll stay. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. And then Eli, is your turn. You just saw this massive tentacle creature. I should mention, with a big old treasure chest attached to its back. The treasure chest moved actually along the ground as it was moving through the sand. And that's what you noticed first before it burst out of the sand, is that it has a treasure chest attached to its back.
I was pulling out the sword sled. Can
Okay.
I activate it?
You can leap onto it as part of your
So we're
action.
not, okay, so we're not we're not out of Sharn technically, so it still works.
Nope. Technically, you're not within the city, so you're just beyond the manifest zone. So you're going to be able to use it, but at its normal speed.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if it still worked or not.
Oh yeah, it totally works. Sword sleds will work even if you're not within Sharn.
Okay, I will move over here.
Okay. Take out this flat green crystalline disc and leap onto it as it manifests underneath you as you summon it into being, and a bit of electricity crackles off of it as you hurl through the air. I should mention this cavern is very, very tall. It's at least 100 feet to the ceiling.
I will fly up from where I'm at then.
Okay. You can finish your movement flying up.
Yeah. And then I'm my turn, since my action was to take it out, correct?
Correct. It takes your action to activate it.
Alright, my turn right there.
Okay. Ender, you watched as Lithana, in quick succession with this double-bladed scimitar, attempted to slash at this weird creature that it's attempting to attack her.
Alright. I'm impressed with her combat prowess. She scored a hit on it. No, north of me, there's this stuff on the ground. Can I walk over?
Yes, you can.
Stand right there. Alright, I'm going to attack the beast from there.
All right.
I'm gonna take out my katana and slap it.
There we go. I'll move it next to you so you can hit him. There you go. You got to target him first. But unfortunately, that was a miss.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Control play. No, that's not.
You can also drag your attacks onto enemies. Is that the end of your turn, Ender? Or did you have...
No, I still have another attack.
Go for it.
I think I have it targeted.
You do not. You can either drag your attack onto the creature on the map.
Control click.
Hey, you hit it.
There we go.
So, Ender, very quickly with your katana, slashing down onto the creature, you manage to nick into its thick hide. And there's a bit of a stench as you cut into the creature's body. It's almost the smell of rotten meat that's emanating not only from its toothy maw, but also from its disgusting wound that you've just created. And I will share with you all what this creature looks like. Some of you know, because some of you have faced it before in my old campaign.
Yeah.
Is this the guy in the junkyard?
It is. It's a blast from the past.
I think it was all of us. Well,
I
almost.
think you guys are allowed to, if you guys want to vote and give me inspiration, because I remembered.
Is that the end of your turn, Ender?
I want to action surge and attack the guy again, but
Okay.
I'm gonna hold.
All
That's the
right.
end of my...
Gunthroll, it is your turn. Clicking your heels together, you activated your winged boots and you leapt into the air just above the sand now. The sand not holding you down or disparaging your movement.
Can I see this shape?
Let's see. You see a mass in front of you. You can just see that your friends in the dark, in the pitch black, you can just see shapes. Make a perception check with disadvantage. You can see the mass in front of you. You're not too far away from it that you can still make out these big, thick legs and these sort of writhing tentacles.
Alright, for my action, I'm gonna cast Daylight.
Okay. And how far out does that create an area of effect? Nice. So suddenly the entire chamber is filled with bright, warm light. And all around you, Gunthro, you can see scattered amongst the sand what appears to be tons of metallic coins, gold, silver, copper, just sort of scattered everywhere, dispersed around you. And you see this disgusting creature writhing, attempting to reach out and bite at your companions.
You ugly beast, come toward me. I'll get the opposite side of it.
Okay.
And I will my turn.
All right. Auri, on your turn, Ender suddenly produced a brilliant light that filled the chamber, and you now see this horrible creature, this disgusting monster, which is threatening your newfound companions.
And the light is emanating from my breastplate.
Okay.
Okay.
Auri, if you're not certain what you'd like to do, you may hold your action. That's up to you. But keep in mind, you can't really hold your action forever. At the end of the round, you will lose that held action.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on it.
Okay.
So that hopefully my friends get advantage.
Okay. Go for it. On your action tab under Fairy Fire, there should be an option to attack or cast. Okay. The creature succeeds its dexterity save. If you read the notes for the spell, it'll tell you what will happen even if it succeeds. So it appears that because it's saved, the spell unfortunately does not affect it.
Okay. Then I'll use my bonus action to change into a direwolf.
Okay. Give me one moment. I will Suddenly, Auri, you become a furry wolven creature. And I will give you the stats for a direwolf now, just in case you need it.
I have them. I just need to know what my HP will be.
Sure. What does it say under your shape change ability?
Ooh, for direwolf, it says it is 5d10 plus 10.
Okay. So normally
Or
it's
37. It says both.
Yep. Normally it's here. Its ability is 37. I'm gonna drop something on your character, which will pop up. Boom.
Thank you.
And to use the attacks, you just have to drag and drop from the description onto the creature.
Okay.
Is that the end of your turn, or did you want to move?
I'll move.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the light spell also goes an additional 60 feet beyond that.
Does that complete your turn?
Yes.
Okay. On the Otyug's turn, it is going to attempt to bite at Lithana first. In which it hits. So suddenly this massive toothy maw, Lithana, it sort of shuffles forward, and it's a quick succession, like a through the sand. Sand is spitting in as its somewhat thick legs bring it forward, and its maw just clamps down onto your arm, right around your elbow. And for some reason, it rolled another attack. I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Sorry. Let's try something different. Here we go. And I need you to make a Constitution save, Lithana.
Okay. That's a 20.
Okay.
Oh, dang it.
And, so, the teeth pierce your skin, pierce your flesh into your elbow, and you sort of feel a bit of a heat in the wound, and you start to feel a little woozy, but then that whatever that was, it seems to like completely pass. And then it whips around in quick succession with its two tentacles. One tentacle reaches out and attempts to bash at you, Ender. And it manages to hit you. As this sort of almost tree limb sized tentacle slams into your body. And you are currently grappled as it suddenly wraps around your body.
All right.
And then the other tentacle whips around and strikes at you, Gunthral. But just manages to miss, as wearing your winged boots, you just sort of shift to the side just as the tentacle was about to hit you. You watched Ender get wrapped up in the other tentacle. And holy crap, the Otyug's gonna go again. The Otyug, now frustrated, shifting its attention, looking at you, Gunthral, is going to attempt to bite at you. You just watch as its lumbering, disgusting, sort of a trap jaw mouth turns around, and it first attempts to bite at you, and then with its free tentacle, in a rage, attempts to whip at you and smash into your armor. And it just manages to hit you, and it bashes you hard, a creature roaring, and manages to score a critical hit on you. And you take 21 damage, bludgeoning damage, and you are currently grappled.
Uses my stones and dirt.
Stones and Dirtus? Okay.
And I'll reduce it by 12.
Alright, so you can go ahead and adjust that if you like. And the other tentacle is now wrapped around you. It's now holding you and Ender in its tentacles. And Lithana, it is your turn.
So, since its focus is on Guntherol, any way I can move away without opportunity?
Yes, correct. It will not attack you now. It is currently engaged with Guntherol and with Ender.
Okay, I'm gonna skeet around to that rock by where Eli.
Okay, Eli is currently above you, flying in the air on some sort of strange crystalline disc.
And I'm gonna get down on my stomach and on my hands, pull out my bow, and shoot at it twice.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm trying to get as much cover as I can.
That first attack, unfortunately, is a miss as you pull out an arrow, knock it in your bow. It arcs across and just harmlessly bounces off of its thick hide.
That was twice.
Oh,
So
that
the
was
first one
twice?
hit.
Okay,
First
so
one hit, the second one.
I apologize. So the first one does hit.
It's loading.
It's loading.
There we go.
There we go. So your one good arrow manages to catch the creature in the side of its jaw and is now poking out the side as its jaw sort of undulates, trying to get the arrow out of from between its teeth, where in the fleshy bit where it's sunk in. Does that complete your turn?
Yes, with my bonus action, I should have done this before. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the...
Okay, go for it.
And that's the end of it.
Okay. Gothrol, on your turn, you can attempt to try and escape this by making a strength check. Or an escape check, I should say, which is a strength check.
Can I cut the tentacle off or not?
You can attack the creature instead and stay grappled.
I'll see if I can't break its hold on.
Okay. Unfortunately, you just can't manage to get your hands around this thick, slimy tentacle. And there are these bits of pokey, almost teeth-like chitinous matter at the ends of them. And they're sort of like poking into you now, and you're sort of distracted as you were trying to pull on it.
Great. Bonus action, I'll cast Shield of Fate.
Okay. All right. Ender, it is your turn. You can attempt to escape.
Check to escape.
Okay, you can use your action to attempt to escape. Okay. Ender, pulling as hard as you can and sticking a foot in the side of this creature's head. As you do, you manage to pull away from the tentacle. The tentacle is free now writhing in the air above you.
All right, can I attack now?
Well, it took your action to escape.
Okay. So now all
You
I
have
is just a
bonus action,
left.
and you have movement if you wish to get away from it. However, now its tentacle is free. If you try to move away, it will attempt to hit you.
I'm going to second wind and regain 1d10 plus my fighter level of health. I don't think so. I think I have to roll it manually. So that plus 5.
Hey, you get 6 health back. Not bad.
And I'm going to action surge now.
Okay.
And if he attacks, would he get the advantage because we're opposite?
I would say yes. You are flanking, and the creature is somewhat distracted. If you shifted like a little bit, you'd be totally flanking with Auri. Okay, that is totally a hit. Taking your katana blade out with your hands, chopping into the creature. And that's a fairly decent chunk of its hide gets sliced off as you slice into the side of its head.
And I'll follow up with a final attack.
Okay. And another powerful hit as you cut across in an X pattern, slicing into the side right above its knee on one of its stumpy little legs. And a powerful hit as you cut into it, and the creature sort of stumbles a little bit, and it's bleeding from areas where you've slashed into it, but it still looks pretty tough.
Right, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Auri, it is your turn. You are currently a wolf.
Yes. I have pack tactics. Do I have to do anything to use that, or it's just
Your pack tactics, it basically just means that you click the little ADV near the dice. That'll give you an advantage when you roll your attack. Unfortunately, that... Oh, you hit the wrong thing. You gotta hit the ADV. So you can re-roll that if you like. Or you can just roll another attack, and we'll take that if it's higher.
okay. Which one?
If you look next to the big modifier button there, there's a little button that says ADV on it. If you click on that and then roll your attack, it'll roll your attack at advantage and take the higher.
Okay.
Hey, there you go. Unfortunately, you still missed.
Oh darn! I'm gonna growl at him out of anger. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Wow.
In that case, Eli, it's your turn. You just watch this massive wolf leap forward and start barking and attempting to growl and bite at this creature. It's snapping its jaws just within the inches of its face.
Eli's watching this whole scene play out, and he's going to mutter some arcane, cast Witch Bolt.
Okay. That's a hit.
Nice.
This arcane energy crackles forth and arcs forth, and the creature is burnt in an area as the arcane lightning blasts into it.
And he is going to sit down and draw the scene play out.
You're gonna sit down and start drawing? Okay,
Yeah,
then.
the scene play out, because I can hold. I can hold Witch Bolt on him all day.
Ah, okay. The Otyugh is going to attempt to bite the wolf that was trying to bite it. As its jaws snap out and just miss. This is loud, deafening noise of chitin and teeth slamming together. And then, frustrated, takes its tentacle and attempts to slap at Ender. And once again, this thick, disgusting tentacle comes wafting your head, and you just manage to duck underneath, and you just feel the wind as it woofs past your head. And Ender, it is your turn. As you brandish your weapon at the creature, ready to make another blow, another attack on it.
That's what I'll do. Do I still have advantage?
Yes, you do. That's a hit. Slicing deep into the creature's hide now. You can see whole chunks of its skin and flesh dripping away. And there's this disgusting bilious liquid, this foul-smelling blood that is ichor that's dripping out of its wounds.
I've been aiming for the same spot, doing X slashes. This next one, I'm going to puncture it straight in and rise it up.
Okay.
Right up the back of this thing, hopefully.
That is a natural 20. Critical hit. As you cut up into underneath the chin and manage to split the bottom of its jaw, and its teeth are flopping this way and that way. And the creature is spitting now, and ichor is spitting onto the sand in front of it. I think it's the first critical hit of the new group, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Hey!
Yeah.
Yay.
Feel free to roll that damage anytime.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Got so
Okay,
excited. Got so
I
excited.
don't remember how savage attacks work. When I score a critical hit with a melee weapon, I can roll one of the weapon's damage dice in addition to add 2 damage.
Yeah, so you just roll when you go to attack or roll the damage, you click, left click, hold, and then right click, and it'll add another damage die to the roll before you drop it.
Did I do that correctly?
Nope. But that's okay. Roll another d8. Just roll a flat d8. We'll add damage on top of it. Nice. Hey, you know what? 1 point is still 1 point. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So you cut into the... Well, actually, you know what? I'll say it was 2. Because it was a critical. So 2 instead of 1. So the creature, you cut deep into it, and its bottom jaw is sort of like flopping like a Y, almost like a snake's tongue. It still looks like it's pretty dangerous looking. Like it could still do some damage if it bit into somebody. Is that the end of your turn, Ender?
I'm going to shout, finish it. Finish it! And then end of turn.
Okay. And Gonthrol's turn.
Time is at an end.
What's Toll the Dead? That's my interest.
There is a loud chiming noise within the chamber. A discordant booming noise as this bell erupts. And you just see from the back of its head, where you would assume is the cranium, there's bursts as blood spurts out the top of its head. And the creature now is sort of weakly moving and almost looks like it's getting ready to drop Gunfrol.
It's like a hangover, baby.
And
I shall end my turn. Oh, hold on. I'll end my turn.
And Eli, it's your turn.
Eli looks up, sees the scene play out and looks at his good drawing, puts it away, points his finger and witch bolt it again. Because they already hit it, automatically succeeds.
The bolt arcs out, this arcane lightning racking the creature and momentarily sort of scatters over and travels over the surface of its skin, illuminating even with the daylight spell that's emanating from Gunthel's chest. Would you like to do anything else?
He kind of looks disappointed, like, I thought that would kill it. And I'll end the turn.
Alright. Lathana, it is your turn. You're watching your newfound friends just laying into this disgusting creature.
I'm gonna aim it right at the cranium and shoot 2 arrows.
Okay, first arrow manages to hit its mark, sinks into the side of its pathetic looking face.
And that would be +6 for the hunter's marker.
Yes.
Let's see. I don't know if that, like, does it automatically?
I think you have to. Just go ahead and roll a d6. Okay, so 2 more damage. There we go.
No. Make my second attack.
Go for it. And you hit again, once again, knocking another arrow, arcing across the chamber, sinking to the forehead of the creature. And there is a terrible screeching noise. And the creature collapses, its legs splayed out. And it drops Gunthral. And the creature is dead.
I rush up to pick up my arrows and say, well, good job.
Nice shooting. Good hit there, Ender.
Nice bell tolling thing. I've never seen that in my life.
No, I just get a hangover like he had a lot of drinks.
Ah.
And as the creature's body slumps to the ground, you notice that the chest that was attached to it appears to have been attached to it by some sort of chitinous, almost like barnacles. In fact, the creature's skin, as you look closely in it in the daylight, you can see that it's almost the entire skin is covered in barnacles.
That was pretty gross. Good job, guys. That was so cool.
I'm gonna try to cleave the with my axe.
Go for it.
Lathana goes over to Ari and starts petting.
Just a attack roll or what?
Yeah, you can just make an attack roll. And you each receive 360 experience points for that encounter. And you very mightily hack into the barnacles and separate the chest from the back of the creature.
Lathana continues to pet Ari.
Is there anything inside the chest?
Yes. As you open up the chest, crack it open, it's not locked. In fact, the catch was after bashing into it and removing it from the creature, it pops open, and you see it is filled with gold gallifars. And there's also buried within the gallifars, you find a dagger and a jewelry box of some sort. And I will drop those into the party loot.
Is this the thing that we're coming here for? I thought we was coming against a group of people.
Yeah, we're here looking for a group of gang of Sharn Shullers, I think it is.
If I were to presume, I believe this was the watchdog.
And as the sound of the echoing drips from the stalactites within this chamber continues to drip, and there's a bit of an echo from the sound of the creature's death rattle, continues to travel on throughout. And you look up to the northwest above the 15-foot ledge. You can see that a tunnel continues on into the dark just beyond the dim light of the daylight. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Dun,
Wow.
dun, dun.
That was fun. Nice.